Is making beaded bracelets to sell online. She can make 17 bracelets in 2 hours. If she continues at this rate, how many bracelets can she make in 8 hours? So in this situation, I see the same unit twice. When I see the same unit twice, that means I set up a proportion. Now, since it doesn't have a percent, I do 3 lines. On this over here, you're going to put your units. So that would be the units of measurement that our numbers are in. So bracelets describes the word 17. So bracelets is one of our unit. And then hours describes 2. So that's another unit. Now from there, I would look at the first sentence and it says she can make 17 bracelets in 2 hours. So 17 goes with our bracelets and 2 goes with our hours. So sorry about the background noise. My cat is freaking out. All right. Then the next sentence says, if she continues at this rate, how many bracelets can Gabby make in 8 hours? So now I see the number 8. So that goes with hours. And then it doesn't say how many bracelets. So I make that X. How do we solve a proportion? We cross multiply. So I do 2 times X, which gives me 2X. And then I do 17 times 8, and 17 times 8 gives me 136. Now what do I do? Now I'll divide both sides by 2, and that will give me that X equals 68. All right, these are all telling me for questions 2 through 5 to find the circumference. So let's take a look at this first question right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this right here. Is this a diameter or a radius? This is a diameter. Since I have a diameter, which circumference formula am I going to use? I'm going to use the circumference formula that has diameter. So I'm going to use the one that has a D. Now at this point, I know that this right here is D. So in for D, I'm going to put 10. And then in for pi, I'm going to put what I always put, which is 3.14. I don't know what my circumference is, so I'm going to keep that just to C, okay? So I have C equals 3.14 times 10. Once I multiply that, that gives me a circumference of 31.4 meters. Next one, I take a look at this right here, and is this a radius or a diameter? This right here is a radius. It only goes halfway across, so it's a radius. That means I use which circumference formula? Because radius starts with R, I use the formula that has an R. In for my R, I'm going to put my radius, so I'm going to put 16 in. In for pi, I'm going to put 3.14. So I have, and then I don't know what my circumference is, so I'm going to keep that a C. So I have C equals 2 times 3.14 times 16. And that is going to give me 100.48. inches. All right, for the next one, it says use pi to find the circumference. Okay, so I want to know what C is of a circle with a diameter of 9.2. So 9.2 is our diameter. Now I'm looking for circumference. So which formula am I going to use? I'm going to use the formula with diameter because I have a D. In for D, I'm going to put my diameter of 9.2. For pi, I'm going to put 3.14, and then I don't know what C is. So therefore, I have C equals 3.14 times 9.2. And that's going to give me 28.888 millimeters. Next one, I'm going to still stick with 3.14 instead of 22/7. All right, so it wants us to find the circumference. Looking at this 21 right here, is that a radius or a diameter? That is a radius. So which formula am I going to use? I'm going to use C circumference equals 2 times pi times radius. In for my radius, I'm going to put 21. In for my pi, I'm going to put 3.14. And then I don't know what my C is, so that's just going to say C. All right, circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times 21. So that's going to give me 131.88 centimeters. And we'll skip that last one.